One man, one horn, one lifetime of weaponized tragedy. Let's get into the video and find out who is the unicorn. Milos Masaryk entered the world in a country split between old loyalties and new masters. That devotion carried him deep into the machinery of Russian intelligence. His path eventually led him to a frozen outpost in Siberia. There, he served as a guardian for the genius Anton Vanko, the brilliant mind forging the first Crimson Dynamo armor and a host of experimental weapons. Among them was a strange helmet and harness. An energy-projecting marvel Vanko offered to Milos as if passing on a legacy. But when Vanko defected to the United States, the Kremlin's admiration curled into fury. They branded him a traitor, and they sent their loyal soldier, Milos Masaryk, to make the world remember the price of betrayal. With Vanko's device crowning his head, Masaryk stepped into a new identity. He became the Unicorn. His first strike came at Tony Stark's Long Island facility. The Unicorn's power beam hurled Happy Hogan into a coma, and Pepper Potts became his hostage. Bait meant to drag Iron Man out into the open. Iron Man saved her, but Masaryk had planned ahead. He had planted a hidden time bomb in Stark's factory, forcing the armored hero to surrender and board a plane bound for Russia. Once in flight, Iron Man shattered the aircraft, sending it spiraling into ruin. The Unicorn jumped from the plane and vanished. He resurfaced only days later, this time as an unwilling pawn. Dr. Doom's emotion-manipulating device ensnared him during the wedding of Reed Richards and Susan Storm, pulling him toward the Baxter building alongside a swarm of other villains. Reed's time displacer unraveled the attack in an instant, scattering them all back to where they had come from. Masaryk's next chapter unfolded under Count Nefaria, who sought to resurrect the European Magia. As one of the Count's enforcers, the Unicorn helped capture several X-Men and assisted in sealing Washington, D.C. beneath an unbreakable crystalline dome. But ambition gnawed at the Unicorn. He convinced the other villains to name him temporary leader, stole the ransom money, and fled, only to be intercepted by the U.S. Army and outmaneuvered by Cyclops. Exhausted and directionless, Masaryk returned to Slovakia. Russian agents seized him, rewrote his mind, and strapped him beneath the hyper-activator ray. The machine supercharged his strength and resilience, but destabilized his cells, shortening his life and unraveling his sanity thread by thread. The same blast that empowered him also burned away their brainwashing, allowing him to regain his memory, obliterate the lab, and break free. Desperation drove him to an Alpine scientific conference, where he stormed the gathering and took Tony Stark and several scientists hostage. Stark slipped into his armor and snatched off the Unicorn's power belt, sending it tumbling off a cliff. Masaryk dove after it like a man chasing the last piece of his soul. His booster rockets ignited mid-fall, and he vanished into the mountains. He didn't disappear by chance. A hidden signal from the Red Ghost pulled him like a puppet on a string. The Red Ghost repaired his belt, drugged him under the guise of treatment, and manipulated him into stealing Stark's cosmic ray intensifier. When the Red Ghost used the device to repower himself and destroyed his own lab, Iron Man and the Unicorn were forced into a reluctant alliance to escape. They then tracked the Red Ghost to Africa, but Masaryk, still obsessed with curing his decaying body, betrayed Iron Man and fled with the Red Ghost. When the Red Ghost failed him, Masaryk sought salvation from the Mandarin. The Mandarin discovered that the Unicorn's physical deterioration could be reversed. He restored Masaryk's body and bound his will with a mystic headband, turning him into a living weapon, an 11th ring. Then, during a clash with Iron Man, the Mandarin's consciousness was accidentally transferred into the Unicorn's body. Realizing that the Unicorn's failing brain would eventually destroy him, the Mandarin kidnapped Sunfire to his undersea base to power a mind transfer machine. Sunfire's energy surge freed the Mandarin's consciousness, and Iron Man destroyed the undersea base. The Unicorn's body drifted into Arctic waters, suspended between life and death. He was eventually recovered by Titanium Man, who revived his mind and slowed, but couldn't halt, his molecular decay. Calling himself the Other, Titanium Man manipulated Masaryk through high-frequency radio pulses, outfitting him with a new suit and sending him to destroy Stark International's solar converter. Iron Man defeated Unicorn and placed him under Dr. Henry Pym's care. But a signal activated the robot Arsenal, which struck the Unicorn and left him comatose. The Avengers battled Arsenal until the robot just disappeared. Iron Man then used a memory extractor to uncover the other's involvement and then sealed Masaryk in a cryogenic canister. But shortly after, fate intervened. When Backlash attacked Iron Man, his electrified whips had triggered an explosion that sent a surge of energy through the chemicals surrounding the unicorn. Slowly, impossibly, his body healed, his decay halted, and he awakened. He escaped with Iron Man being unaware until Unicorn appeared to finish his mission from the other, kill Iron Man. In their brutal confrontation, the Unicorn nearly succeeded, but Iron Man convinced him that the other had abandoned him. The truth hit him hard. Masaryk turned away from the fight and set out to hunt down the one who had used him. Years would pass, and a unicorn would appear among a new lethal legion, another battling Captain America, and later Morgan Stark recruited an Australian mercenary as another unicorn. Many tried to copy the tech, but none have ever matched the raw, unstable force of the original unicorn who eventually resurfaced. The hyper-activator ray transformed Milos Masaryk into a living warhead, granting him superhuman strength, durability, speed, sharpened senses, and accelerated healing, all fueled by unstable hyper-energy that slowly corrodes his mind. The Unicorn is a trained Russian intelligence operative. He's deadly in hand-to-hand combat, extremely skilled with weapons, and highly trained in espionage. But his true signature is the evolving Power Horn, a versatile weapon capable of firing radiation blast, heat rays, magnetic waves, and even disintegration beams. Well, that's the origin of the Marvel character, the Unicorn. Now, before you blast off, please channel some of that hyper energy into a like, drop a comment, and subscribe so the channel keeps powering up. Well, that does it for this one. Thanks for watching. Peace.